How are we doing, Dr. Hope?
Hi.
You got it. Shoes.
I'm ready.
I know, when we last saw you, right now.
I'm ready.
All right, so I'd like to call the meeting to order. Could we please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And a moment of silence, please. Thank you. The listing of matters on the agenda are those reasonably anticipated by the chair, which may be discussed at the meeting. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by law. This meeting is being videotaped for cable. I'd like to start with the approval of June's meeting minutes.
Moved.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, and to our first item, personnel.
Personnel. I would like to introduce our new executive secretary to the superintendent, but also to the school committee, Kim LaCroix, who has a wealth of experience working in a central office. She was the secretary to the assistant superintendent for 17 years in the Dighton-Rehoboth school system. So she comes with great references and a wealth, like I said, a wealth of experience. So I'm really looking forward to working with her. The funny thing is, today is her first day on the job at all, and she also has to have like a school committee. So like, don't get scared away. All days aren't this long.
Well, Jim's not here. So.
Yeah. So welcome aboard.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Welcome.
All right, the superintendent's update.
Okay, I have a lot of updates.
All right,
We haven't had a meeting since June 13th, so we have a lot of updates.
feels like yesterday.
The summer went by like this, as usual, and even though all the teachers and the kids go away, it is usually crazy busy. I thought last summer was busy because we were opening the new high school, and this summer actually ended up being crazier, probably because of all the things going on at the Spring Street School. But, so the crazy part of the summer was the roof project at the Spring Street School that is wrapping up now. They actually did a really good job with it because, I mean, it's a clean work site, and they moved right along. I mean, they literally, from the day we got out of school, were out there every day. And it's not even like, thank God we didn't have any rain, because, I mean, it went the full time and they could work the whole time. And it looks really, really good. So they're wrapping that up. The problem, that we had was, we had one bad storm when it was in the middle of it, and some of the drains backed up, the old drains, and so we had some leaks, and kind of put us back a little bit in-house, and we moved back and forth. So we're getting that set up. There were all hands on deck today of the custodial staff at the Spring Street School so that we can get the kindergarten teachers in. The good news is the kindergarten as a whole doesn't start until a week later, although we want the teachers to be able to get in because they're coming for screening over the next week. So that was the big thing that made it crazy. But there were a lot of great things going on this summer. We had the Let's Go program as usual. It was really successful. I don't know if you had any kids in the Let's Go program, but the kids love that program. And the teachers that run it just do a great job. And they do, I mean, basically do field trips like 3 or 4 times a week. They go everywhere. So it's a great program. The Ready, Set, Go program went at the McDonald's school. And again, people love that. She gets them out there running around doing all these things. So it was a hot one this year for Ready, Set, Go. But the same thing, they love that program. We had our summer school program that usually is in the Spring Street School. We had to move it to the Howard School, and the teachers that run that too are great, and it's always a good experience for the kids that go to that program. We had a week-long coding camp at one point that came in, and we had a week-long session, and I saw some of the kids one of the days that were coming out of it at noon time, and they seemed to really enjoy it was 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
And they really enjoyed it. So there's been a lot going on. And then really, the usual stuff with the custodial and, I mean, they work their butts off. And it's nice because we hire a lot of high school kids to help out in the summer, and they're busy the whole time. So we'll be ready for next week to start up. So that was summer update. I don't know if you have any questions about that. Okay. Next, the building committee. The building committee that seems like has been going on for a while. I will say, if you get a chance to walk around the high school, go into the academic wing. They did an unbelievable job cleaning it and getting it ready for the opening. We had to kind of rush the opening last year, so they didn't get a lot of time to put finishing touches on it, the wax on the floors and those types of things. And they got to spend the time, and they knew the building this summer. It looks awesome. I mean, it looks brand new. It doesn't look like, and it was interesting to see, okay, we're gonna have 650 people here or 700 people here throughout the year. How much wear and tear will that do? What will it do to the building? But it's great, So, which shows me that it was done as a quality building because it didn't have that wear and tear, and the stuff that we learned, we took care of. So the building basically is all set. There was a couple change orders that are just getting finished up, which is the coolant in the fitness room and the locker rooms. Do you remember? They're doing that now. A couple other things, but the main part of it is the fields and finishing up the fields. As you know, we went out to Cape and Islands to do the track, and we also have AP Whitaker doing the concession stand and the bleachers and that whole area with the also the storage bin and that. They've been working a lot this summer. You can see the concession stand. They had to the big part of the project was they had to do all the plumbing for the bathrooms that were going to be out there. So hooking in all the systems and the prep took the longest. Now they're just flying through that stuff because that was the hardest stuff. So the goal is to be open for, which is my next item, the field dedication that we're rededicating to Robert Dwyer on September 24th. So it'll be the September 24th football game is against Nantucket, I believe. It starts at 1:30, so we'll have the dedication at 1. His family's coming and other people that knew him and people that worked with him and went to school with him. So it should be good. I'll get that out through social media so everyone knows about it. If the field can open before that for practices, that would be great. But right now, we're just putting our sights on the first time we'll be open is for the September 24th game. And then all of the home football game, all the home field hockey games will be after that. And they'll stop practicing on it also. Again, if we can sneak some practices in before then that would be great. The lights for the field are coming on September 30th. They say 2.5 to 3 weeks from start to finish. So that's actually sooner than I thought it would be. So, and that's really that. Then they'll do the rest of the landscaping and we'll get that done. So it seems like it's just been a long time, but it's stuff that they have to do, the tedious stuff that you don't see. But once you do get a chance to go out, let me tell you, walk on that track. We took a walk out there and it's beautiful. I mean, it's the track kids. We're going to be setting records left and right. No pressure. But so it's going to be nice to finally get out there, and that's really was the last piece of this project. So long time coming, but it's for a good thing. And I think everyone notices as you drive by, it looks nice to see the school in the back, the way that they situated it, and the field in the front. So once we get it all landscaped and everything done, and it'll be nice to see kids out there using it. So we're not too far away, but we'll be doing that on the 24.
That electronic sign-off is a nice addition.
Yeah.
It looks nice.
Yeah, and Mark, you learned how to do
I
that,
did,
and you put up
yeah.
some
Put a few
slides?
slides, it's basically
Yeah.
just like a Google Slides presentation.
Oh, that's how they do it?
Yep, so I can update that. I
That's
have to do it
great.
at that computer, but I can update it daily if you want to.
Oh, that's
Nice.
great. That's really good.
Yeah, it looks good. And even, and then what the boosters donated with the back of the scoreboard looks really nice too, because like that big wildcat when you come down, so, looks cool.
Very, very nice.
And back to school, that's next week. The teachers will come on Monday, the 29th, and grades 1 through 12 will come on Tuesday. We'll have school full day Tuesday, full day Wednesday, a half day Thursday, and the reason for that half day is because in the afternoon, we work on looking, making, on student support and making sure that everyone knows what they're supposed to be doing as far as student supports go. So the teachers will be here, it was just the kids will have a half day. And then Friday off, and then we come back right after Labor Day and hit the ground running. So it's actually a good way before Labor Day to kind of get all the, seating charts and getting to know kids and making they're in the right class and doing all that stuff, get out of the way, and then when you come back after Labor Day, you just take off and you can dive right into things. Because Labor Day is a little bit later, it made sense to go before, we have that policy for that. So, and then the following week, on Tuesday, the kindergarten starts. So next week for kindergarten and preschool, they'll be doing screening, and then preschool and kindergarten will start the following Tuesday. They'll come the 6th, they'll be here the 7th. Unfortunately, we'll close the 8th because it's primary, and then the next time that Spring Street is closed is for the big election in November. So if we didn't have something going on in the primary, because I know that there's some districts that decided not to close buildings for the September 8th because there wasn't anything really big, but we do have a Senate race because Brian Joyce's seat is up. So for West Bridgewater, that is a big race. So we probably will get a number of people, so we want to make sure that we don't buses going in and out of there and parent pickup and all that stuff. So they'll get, not bad because it's full day kindergarten, so they'll get 2 full days, they'll probably be tired. They can take a day off, go back, because they're not used to full day yet, so it actually will probably be good for them. So we had a meeting today and everyone's ready for back to school. You are cordially invited at 11:30 on Monday. We will have the whole district over at the high school and we'll have lunch. And then after lunch, we will have a whole district presentation. It's just really kind of my welcome back and introduction and go over everything, so.
Great.
So if you'd like to come to that, please feel free, because the food will be good.
Absolutely.
Okay, the last thing, and I'm just gonna talk about this for a couple minutes because I'm not gonna give you a ton of details about this because you will get a lot of details as we move ahead. But during my vacation a few weeks ago, I got an email that said, "Dear Superintendent, your district has been selected as one of the districts to do the district review or district audit by the state." It's been going on for a number of years. We've kind of floated under the radar. We haven't picked, I think they pick about 15 to 20 districts a year to do this district review. This is in addition, this is a state one. This is not the NEASC that we will be doing in a few years. This isn't the coordinated program review. That's something that's separate. Some of the topics within this review overlap with what the CPR audit and with what NEAS does, but this has been mandated in the legislation, mandated in the law that they have to audit or review, they call it a review, of all the districts. So basically, there are 6 district standards and indicators, and they're gonna pick 3 of those standards to review for us. We don't know which 3 yet. They are the 3 that go together, or each group of 3, leadership and governance, so that's you. leadership and governance, finance, and human resources. Those are the 3 standards that are in one group that they could pick. The
What's the
other
other
group
one?
is curriculum and instruction, assessment, and student support services. So, it, you know, what we did get the other day is an update that we have to do a self-assessment that's due before October 14th. And the self-assessment will give them, will tell them what areas they want to, that's how they'll decide what 3 indicators, or excuse me, standards they'll choose for us. So I'll give you more information on that.
So this self-assessment due October 14th, do they give you at least guidelines?
Yeah, they
or-
give us the assessment.
Oh, they give it to you?
It's
Oh, okay.
basically, you know, a rubric.
A rubric,
Like, we
that's
do
what I
this
was
well,
thinking.
not so
Okay.
well, and we go through all the
Okay.
different indicators. And then we have to have some supporting documentation that we have to send in. And we're just kind of saying, and then I suppose they look at it and say, oh, they maybe have some challenges here, we'll do this. Or-
So it's similar.
I don't really
pro-
know how they do it, I just know that it's, I'm assuming that's how they do it, because why would you
Right,
take a self-assessment if, you know,
right.
because we're gonna have
They'll
to spend
take
some
that.
time on it. It's 25, the self-assessment is 25
That's what it
pages.
is.
We
Is
so
it really?
If it's 25 pages, they better take some time to read it. But I'm sure they look at it and say, where can we help them the most? Geez, they have challenges in this area, it seems like more than this area, so this is what we'll review, because maybe we can help them. I
Okay. So
think-
it's like a similar process to like your evaluation, where you provided us with the documentation, the supporting evidence?
Yeah,
All right.
basically.
Yeah, piece of cake.
Yeah, so we'll throw it together, and then they will, and we'll do, you know, as soon as we can, but the sooner we get it in, I'm sure the sooner we know what the
Right.
standards are, which would be good. So then we will, I don't really know the process, but we'll go through, it's probably very similar to CPR or NEASC, where you look at all the indicators, you gather data and show them what you're doing in those indicators, and then you get it all together. In the spring, they will come in, a team from the DESE, and a lot of them are like retired administrators and stuff, and they'll come in for 4 days, they'll interview people, they'll observe classes at all different levels, and look at all the paperwork we have, maybe look at files, and then we get a report after that. And the report will probably say, we saw some great strengths here, but you have some challenges here, maybe you can do this, this.
Hopefully it will be like the opportunity we had at Spring Street this summer to freshen things up.
Yes,
And we
Yes.
didn't know we needed it.
exactly, exactly. So, you'll be hearing a lot more about it, and I'll put things together, but, you know, we don't have a lot of information yet. I have the standards and indicators that I'll get to you. I'll just email them to you so you can at least have an idea of what they're looking at.
Okay.
But once we get more information, then we'll get it out to you. But that's about really all we
Okay.
know.
Thank you.
But we've already, Dr. Hanscom's already contacted some other districts that have already gone through it, because it's nice to see, you know, okay, what's it like? What do you know, what are they looking for and stuff, so. Other districts have gone through it that are local, so we can get some information from them and see what type of experience it was and what to expect. So, it's always something. We're looking at it as an opportunity, like Molly said, looking as an opportunity because it will, hopefully it will help us, because we have to start doing that now for our 10-year NEASC evaluation, and, you know, so hopefully we can get some positive things out of it so that it wasn't we don't want it to be a waste of our time, we want it to be useful. So,
Excellent. Thank you for all the updates.
you're welcome.
Under business, our first issue is a voting issue, and it's the homeschool applications.
So,
Dr. Hanson.
yeah. So we received the applications that, I think you got a memo with the outline on there. I reviewed all of the applications, they all align with the policy, and so I'm recommending that you approve the applications. If you have any questions, let me know.
It was in the email. Did you
Yes,
guys
it
like
was
it?
in
There
the
were
email.
15.
Yes.
About 15 students, I think it was. Okay,
Yeah.
excellent.
It was on one page.
It was.
Excellent.
Do I have a motion to approve the homeschooling applications as presented?
Move.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Great,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Dr. Hanscom.
Mrs. Spencer and Mrs. Goulet, the elementary student handbook. This is also a voting issue.
You received, I believe, the changes,
Mhm.
and Mrs. Goulet and I tried to make it as legible as possible, highlighting and using red text. And there weren't that many changes, and nothing significant other than the introduction of the STEM program and the foreign language program and the change in the library program. And you had a chance to go through and check them. Do you have any questions on any changes?
Very excited about the foreign language, though. I think that is just an awesome addition. I love that. I think that's just such a great opportunity.
We're excited too, on both ends of it, on the teacher who is going to be teaching, Mrs.
Yeah.
Whaley, and the sixth grade teachers.
Awesome.
So everyone is very, very excited. And the parents, any parents I've spoken to,
Mhm.
had some of the new students to our district already take their tour, and there were a few sixth grade students, and they were really happy to hear that we're going to be
Good.
having fun.
Yeah. Thank you.
Excellent, great. Could I entertain a motion to approve the changes to the elementary student handbook as presented?
Moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Excellent, thank you. Thank you very much. Mr. Bardwell and Mrs. Page, the middle senior high school student athletic handbooks. This is also a voting issue.
And we also updated the athletic code, which hasn't been really updated in a few years, so we sat with the coaches on several occasions and shared a Google Doc to look at it, so we could make it more current and reflect what we need to see happen in the athletic code, and Mrs. Page and I worked on the handbook. So the changes are there. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them for you.
I had one question, but it was on the athletic code, and it was in addition to if that you can't change a sport after the tryouts. Let me see if I can find exactly. Student athletes may not be allowed to switch teams after cuts have been made and the team has been established. That means like if a team has cut, you can't go into that team, but if you've been cut from a team, you still can go to another team, correct?
You can go if there's no cut, for example, if you're going to
Yep.
a sport, say like a cross-country or something like that. We had an issue this year, it came up where a student made a team,
Okay.
then, but didn't make the level that he or she wanted to.
Okay.
Changed to another team, and that displaced someone else from that team that was also making cuts.
Okay, so it was going the opposite way. You still can go the way that we've always been
Yeah,
able to
if
go.
there's no cuts, you can still travel that way.
Okay, excellent. Great, thank you. That was my only question. Any other questions or? Okay, can I entertain a motion to approve the middle senior high school student handbook and athletic handbook and athletic code?
Moved.
Moved?
Second?
And moved and seconded. Any further discussion or questions? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Technology user insurance. This is a voting issue, and Dr. Oakley, I'll let you
Okay.
take it away.
As you know, last year when we started our one-to-one initiative, we gave laptops to every student grade 7 through, Chromebooks to every student's grade 7 through 12. And we offered a company that came in and we offered insurance. And you could have, it was $25 a year and you could have got it for 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. So people some opted 3, 2, 1, obviously if they had a senior, they just did 1. But some other people, I think they just wanted to see, so they might have just done 1, or if they had multiple kids. What we found in the first year of our one-to-one initiative is the majority of problems were broken screens. And we believe this is because kids weren't used to it, so they were closing them, they were throwing them in their backpacks, and, they threw their backpack for lunch, and I think it's, they weren't used to what was gonna happen, so we got a broken screen. So that is covered under insurance, and that's great, because the screens are about $40 a piece, but in order to get it, we had to actually send the Chromebook out. Well, even just because, you know, this company probably has so many others that they're doing, so many other accounts, it could take up to a month to get it back. So if we didn't have any loaners on hand, kids could be without it for a month for a screen. So Mr. Collins came to me and said, he goes, you know, the screens, we could just buy a bunch of screens, and I could have some of our kids that are my interns or me, he goes, I could probably turn it around in 24 or 48 hours. So he's like, and he said 95% of the things was a screen. We did have a few that went down that we had to replace, but it was minimal. It was probably like it was a bad one to begin with or something like that. So it was really the screen. So it just doesn't make sense. So we thought, why don't we take the insurance in-house instead and have everyone, we'll start it with the people that don't have insurance. So say the 7th graders, we've got a whole new crop of 7th graders coming up, and make it a $25 insurance fee, but it's us covering it. So then, if a screen breaks, we'll have the screens, we can turn it around. We do have more loaners this year that we can give out anyway, and then if it's something that's bigger than that, and we can't fix it, then we could send it out, or we could just give, because we have loaners, give them a newer one. So that's really what I'd like to do. We'll also notify the people that only took 1 year of insurance and tell them that they don't have it now, so it's another $25. It's just they won't be signing up through that private company, it will be through us. The people that took 2 and 3 years, they'll still have that other company, and we'll monitor them. And once they're done with that,
Come back.
we'll
That's
come
good.
back to them. So it just.
That's great.
It
Cuts out
just
the middleman.
makes
Makes a lot more sense. Way
And the
more
thing is,
direct.
we had no idea how these Chromebooks would be. We had no idea what the, you know, geez, were 200 of them gonna be broken in different ways. You don't know until you go through it. And even asking other schools, I mean, we got the insurance information from Duxbury High School. Well, they went with MacBooks. We went with Chromebooks. Chromebooks are a little more indestructible than MacBooks are. There's a lot more. So, and they're a lot more expensive, so to have the insurance coverage is bigger than what Chromebooks, and the Chromebooks prices, they're actually getting better products now and the prices are going down because there's more and more of them. So it just makes sense that, I forget how many he said broke, but maybe 40 or 50 out of 650, and they were all screens.
Wow.
You know, literally a handful of ones with other things. Now, the insurance covered stolen and things like that, but we're gonna use the same policy that the insurance did, that if you claim that it's stolen, we have to have the police report that you filed, because the insurance in some cases said, no, that's not good enough, we're not gonna. So we're gonna follow those same guidelines for lost or stolen. Just because you lost, it doesn't mean that it's covered. You know, so there's specific things that we have to go through, but that was not a big problem, and I believe that, and as the year went on, kids got better with them, and most of the broken ones were the younger kids, so we may have a problem with the 7th, you know, to get used to have it in your backpack and stuff, but didn't you feel it got better as the year went on too?
And the new ones this year are more rugged.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They have a higher drop rating
Yeah.
and things like that.
So as we buy more and more every year for those grades, they'll be better anyway. So this is what we'd like to propose, but it would be a voting issue because it's, you know, not just going with an insurance company, it's more like, almost like a user fee that we do with sports, that everyone would have to pay, but
it'd be
we're
across the
we're
board.
insuring them. And I mean, for $25 a year, when you think about it, I mean, they cost $200, so if something really happens to it, we're covering a $200 device. Even just one broken screen, you made your money, you know, because they're $40 a screen, and we're asking you for 25. So it's a good deal. Because we'd like to start that with the 7th grade and any of those people. Mr. Collins has a list of the people that only took 1 year insurance.
So I know we
Do
talked
you have
about,
any-
it was
No, I mean, I think it's a worthwhile thing for the parents, and I think it's a great opportunity for our kids to work in the technology and do the
Right.
fixing themselves.
And they don't come with it, we don't give them any sleeves, like protective sleeves or cases,
Yeah,
right?
we didn't give them
They
any.
do?
Protective
Oh.
sleeves.
A
So
little.
they're supposed to put them in there before they go in their backpack.
I think one of the biggest problems though
supposed to.
last year was they were putting their charger in there with it. And the charger
like
is
me?
actually what caused the
Yeah.
screen because, and I mean,
Because
I
it
know.
went in next to a book and then the charger
Yeah,
went
then it
into
would
it.
push against it. And I.
Is that from experience or?
No, mine didn't, but I didn't let my charger go, my child's charger, not my charger.
Mhm.
I didn't let my child's charger go to school because the chargers are very expensive to
Mhm.
replace. So. I
And that's
was-
the other thing, I mean, as
They
we get more and
keep
more
them
into the,
home.
kids come and they're not charged, it's like,
Right.
So, I mean, we
Yeah.
do have places, obviously, we thought of that because we put those charging stations everywhere. But
the
we really would like
teachers-
them to charge at home because
Yeah.
it's just much easier to
Yeah,
do
if you
that.
could encourage them not to bring the chargers to school at all, it
Yeah,
would be
and-
better. And a lot of the teachers have
They'll
really
get better with it.
accommodated that too. I know, like, the kids know which teacher lets you charge and which room you can go to charge. and-
Yeah,
But
it will
that's-
get better. I mean, it was the first, I mean, honestly, most districts, when they go one-to-one, say, we're gonna start with, 7th grade and 8th grade. Then next year, we're gonna go 7th and go 9th and go up.
Yeah, we
Or
went
they
big.
do 9th grade and go. We did 6th grades at once. I think it was pretty successful
Right.
considering
I think it was awesome.
we we hadn't done it before and we went all 6th grades. It was pretty successful.
And having the loaners now is going to be helpful if something
Yes.
happens. We can give it to them right away. and
Yes.
Guarantee that, they use them during the day, or we may change and let them take them home if it's only a couple day turnout, so they don't miss out on using them at home.
Right. The
What
whole
will be
idea is that they
interesting
have
is,
them. Right.
and I don't know what you're gonna do at the beginning, I'm sure you have something set, but we're gonna have to check that every kid has one because they kept them over the summer. So
Thrown around my house.
8th through 12th is they're gonna have to do like an attendance and
Yeah.
power block or whatever.
Well, an
to
inventory,
Make
yeah.
sure, and
Of course.
we have to do an inventory to make sure every kid has
Inventory,
one.
Um,
That's
Was the
exciting.
were the chargers under that insurance as well, or just the Chromebook itself?
I think just the Chromebook. But I
Not the charger.
think
did-
just the Chromebook.
I did buy a charger last year, not for my own child, but for a family member, and it was, I think I spent $45 on just the charger.
They are very expensive.
Don't let it leave your house. Put it in a plug and lock it. But, and if you plug it in they hold a charge for,
They do, and that's a nice
Really
reason to go with the
long
Chromebook,
time.
because if they just
Yeah.
charge them when they go home at night, they don't have to worry about them all day.
no.
And it's longer, really,
It
but,
really is longer. They can, yeah, they do. Okay, so this, so what we're approving is a $25 technology user insurance or fee? Because this is gonna be for everyone. You can't opt out. We could, if someone
Right.
has financial,
oh, that's the other thing, yeah.
Concerns, we can-
So if there are financial concerns, similar to, when we had to use a fee for sports, if there's a financial concern, then they need to just contact either Mrs. Page or Mr. Bodwell, and we'll look at that. And usually, if you're on a free and reduced lunch and things like that, we will help people like that.
Good.
And we did that for
A third party,
sports
too.
or anything, even if someone's going on a field trip. So absolutely, if there's a financial concern, people just have to talk to
Speak up.
them and we'll take care of it. But, you know what I mean?
Good.
But we need to know,
all right, so you can't there's no opting out of this insurance. It's.
right?
And
But
then
of
will you still
course-
give the option, will it just be a yearly fee, or like would a rising 7th grader have the option to pay for?
Pay for multiple years.
We,
Or,
we could do that. We haven't really thought about that, and maybe doing 3 years, we probably could. With these 7th graders, I wouldn't go more than 3 years, and the reason for that is because I think after 3 years, we might be looking at
gravy.
re-upping.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know, we don't know how long, that's the other thing, this is an experiment, we don't know. We could probably get 4 years out of if you were 9 through 12, they'd have it from 9 through 12. But we're gonna have to re-up people when they're in high school because of the fact that we're we're 7 through 12, and there's no way that they're gonna last for 6 years.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? So we can't, So,
And the.
so I mean,
the
that's something, do you
multiple-
want, because we have not, when are the 7th graders getting this?
I gotta talk to Collins, I'm not sure if they'll be in, if they're not in for orientation, then we'll do a night, then parents come in.
Similar
I hope
to
they're
what we
there
did
for
with the others?
orientation.
They are too.
We may even do
Mine's
it.
pretty excited about getting home
Yeah.
from orientation.
I put that in my letter, yeah.
Okay,
But
so,
the multiple year, though, it only saved $1 for 2 years and $2 for 3 years. I think we're pretty safe. I would say,
just,
Just
if
do the
you,
1
but then
year
you don't have
just
to
in
think
case.
about it. If you choose the
Right.
3-year, you don't have to think about it.
right,
I thought it was
appreciate.
more like less hassle, so you wouldn't have to like collect it.
Well, it's
every
less
year,
hassle for
paperwork.
us, for
Yeah.
sure, if we had 3-year, but I mean,
Well,
Seeing that it's new, I'd rather do 1 year
I
and then.
was just going to suggest
Okay.
that.
If we find this
Yep.
was, there were no glitches at all, then,
Yep.
hey, you could pay for the rest of, then we could extend it to
I agree.
multiple years.
okay, I'm fine with that.
I would
Um,
definitely rather do that.
Okay, so could I get a motion to approve the $25 technology user
Insurance fee.
Okay, we'll add some words on there.
Move.
Moved.
Second?
Any further discussion or questions? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Excellent.
Great.
Okay, approval of policies. So, this first one is mine. The policy, the internet use policy, and this is not ready, so this is gonna go to September. And, we'll add on there the insurance user information, along with some other one-to-one information that
Oh,
needs
yeah,
to be
good thinking.
added onto there, so.
Great.
I apologize, but that's going to September.
That's good. Well, that just makes sense. Now you can add
Oh,
the
yeah.
insurance, right?
Yeah,
There
I
you go.
did
That
that
was
on-
planned.
I did
was
that on
complete-
Did it on
purpose.
purpose.
That was well thought through. Thank you very much, Mrs. Smith.
No problem, no
Awesome.
problem. Policy 7500, school property use. Mr. Flynn.
Yes, Sarah went over the policy. We're not going to make any changes just yet. We're going to let it go for another year, school year, get the usage of the turf field this year. And then we're going to bring it up April, May again, just to see if we've had any issues and whatnot. So it's going to stay the same.
Okay, great, thank you. All right, for warrants, we have 6 warrants. And we have their signed, correct?
They are.
Mhm.
And are there any that need to be
No.
excluded? Okay, excellent. So, can I read through all of them, and then we'll make one motion to approve all of them? Okay, so warrant number 8A for $48,757. Warrant 8B, $40,649.43. Warrant 8C, $375,370. Warrant 8D, $219,416.75. Warrant 9A, $89,949.75. Warrant 9B, $5,573.42. Can I have a motion to approve the warrants as
Moved.
presented?
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
No.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Excellent.
Thank you.
All right, public forum. Members of the audience wishing to address the committee may do so at this time. Audience members are reminded that personnel issues or issues that would violate student confidentiality cannot be addressed during the public forum. And I know, Mr. Flynn, you have...
Yes, I would like to introduce the committee, Dr. Oakley, principals, to Walter Timothy. Walter is actually running for the seat left by Brian Joyce.
Okay.
So he had asked to come down. Walter's been a 14-year state rep in the Canton, Milton area. He's done some great stuff with education up that way. So Walter, you got a few seconds there to talk?
Thank you very much, and I'll be very brief. Good evening. Good evening to you all. I know some very serious matters have been discussed tonight. It's been my privilege, actually, I was here this morning at West Bridgewater High School in Timmy Talk.
Oh,
So this is my second
Would you,
visit.
I'm sorry, would you mind standing there so that the
TV
video,
camera.
the cable?
I'd be honored to,
Okay,
Madam
great,
Chair.
thank
I'd
you.
be honored to,
Thanks.
Madam Chair. Thank you very much, and to the distinguished members of the committee, and Dr. Oakley, and of course to our concerned parents and faculty, I thank you very much for this opportunity. Back in February, I embarked upon this campaign to be your state senator here in West Bridgewater, and since then, I've knocked on many, many doors on weekends when I felt I needed earmuffs back in February, and of course now I'm melting after work when I'm waiting till it gets dark out. But it's been my privilege to be in this town on dozens of trips of door knocking, meeting with concerned residents in their homes, meeting with concerned business folks, meeting with concerned parents, and of course Mr. Flynn's been a great friend for a long time. I understand the mission of the West Bridgewater Public Schools and that is excellence. You folks have maintained that, the parents, the teachers, our administrators, our school committee, our children, and especially the children. You folks have maintained that long before I came to West Bridgewater as a candidate. And I pledge to you my heart, my soul, and my industry. This is a magnificent high school, by the way. And it's been my privilege over the years to vote for increased appropriations and continued appropriations for the school building authority and continued funding in our Chapter 70 money. I am keenly aware that our public schools are the most important institution in this great country of ours. And in order for our country to stay strong, in so many ways, our public schools have to be A1. So I pledge to you, as your state senator in January 2017, I will always have public schools first and foremost on my mind. And of course, that means Chapter 70 funding. And to support our parents and our school committee men and school committee women and our administrators on the home front and our faculty. You folks all need to be supported. Your mission here is outstanding. And I pledge to you that I will be a great partner and a partner who knows that he works for the people of West Bridgewater. So I thank you for the opportunity to address you all tonight and to be in your midst. And I will be here to talk to everybody personally when we adjourn. But I thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you,
for
Mr.
coming.
Flynn, and the distinguished members of the committee. Thank you all.
Thank you. All right, going over some important dates coming up. On August 22nd and the 24th, we'll have new teacher orientation. On August 25th, grade 4 and grade 7 orientation with students and parents. On August 29th, the first day of school for our staff.
Oops.
On August 30th, the first day of school for our students, grades 1st through 12th. On September 6th, our first day of school for pre-K and kindergarten students. And on September 8th, the state primary at the Spring Street School, and the school will be closed. Just Spring Street School will be closed. I think I just heard cheers. No.
Yeah, I have to say, since this is Kim's first day, I did the, doing the slide, so, you know.
You did a great
It was
job.
an
I-
awesome
I-
job. Thank you, Dr. Oakley.
Might have missed
What is it
something,
that
yeah.
you cannot do, really? I'm telling you.
I can't line up these these slides too well.
We can work with that. We can work with that.
But anyway,
Our next regular school committee meeting will be on Monday, September 12th at 6:30 PM, right here in the Middle Senior High School Learning Commons. I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move.
Second?
Second.
Any further discussion, questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you. There we
thank you.
go. Right into the swing of things.
Like we never left.
Oh, you're gonna be like, you're gonna be able to tell your friends, be like, how you freaking can.
That's curriculum thing.
For orientation.
Probably. I know, you're right.